Hey class, my name is Miss Renee Wallace, and I am going to go through your syllabus for Principles of Research here at Tarleton. So I assume you are all psychology majors, and you've taken writing and psychology, and you've taken statistics for psychological sciences, whatever we call stats these days. And now you are taking a research class where we use what you learned in writing and what you learned in stats. And we marry those two together, and you get to conduct research and write about it and conduct your analyses. And then we talk about what we found, which sounds a little intimidating. And it is one of the more difficult courses in your degree, but it is fun, and I think we will all enjoy it together. So I'm just going to take a second to go through the syllabus with you so you know what to expect. Let me share my screen. So here is our Canvas page. So I don't know what the home screen is. It's our modules, I guess. But let's go over here to syllabus. And here's our information. So it's a 4 credit hour course because there's a lab component. And then here's my email and my phone number. So if you need me, email me first. I typically respond to email same day if you email me before 5 o'clock. And then if it's the weekend, I might respond, but don't bank on me responding. I try very hard to keep my weekends, and I would reply that following Monday. My office hours, I'm here on campus at the Fort Worth campus Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'm here most of the day, but I'm in and out of class teaching. And so these are the times between classes. And then if you need a Zoom appointment any other time or during those times, just reach out to me via email and I would be happy to meet with you on Zoom. So our course description, the materials, you need this textbook, The Process of Research in Psychology by McBride, and you need your APA manual. Hopefully you have your APA manual and it's well used and you have all your little notes and highlights in it from writing and your other courses, because you will need that to write your lab manuals up correctly. And then you need to be able to use JASP. It's a statistics software. It's free and you can download it right here. However, it won't work on like tablets or Chromebooks. It has to be a real PC, like a laptop, Mac or Windows. But you need to be able to actually download it. So those are the things you need. You can get them from anywhere, Tarleton Bookstore, Amazon, probably half price books by now. I would imagine they have the APA manual and maybe this textbook. But wherever you want to get them, but you need them. Here are your learning outcomes and then requirements for grading. It's a 500-point class. So exam one's worth 100 points, exam two is 100 points, exam three is 100 points. All of the quizzes combined equal up to 100 points, and there's a quiz for every unit. And then 500, the lab assignments equal up to 100 points for a 500-point total. So your exams equal 60% of your grade. So exam one is over the first sections, exam two is over the second half, and then exam three is comprehensive over the whole course. So exam three is your final. There's a time limit on each exam. You only get one attempt, and it is lockdown browser. So you'll need to make sure that you have signed up with all the Respondus lockdown browser stuff. And the quizzes and the labs equal 20% of your grade. So at the completion of each unit, there will be a short quiz covering the main content. Each quiz is worth 10 points. Each quiz will be timed and may only be attempted once and is due by 11:59 p.m. on the due date. Everything's due on 11:59 at 11:59 on all their due dates, quizzes, tests, assignments. And then there will be 4 lab assignments this semester. Each assignment is designed to give you firsthand experience with essential research skills, such as conducting the experiment, collecting the data, and then writing up the APA manuscript. Except lab one. Lab one is just an APA exercise to get us all, to remember how to format correctly in APA. But for labs two, three, and four, you will conduct a short experiment, collect the data, analyze the data, and then you will compose your APA manuscript based on the experiment and the results you get. So here's lab one, APA formatting, and then lab 2.1 is a correlational. Lab two's correlations. Lab three is independent groups like t-tests, and then lab four is factorial design like ANOVAs. So we'll do easy, medium, hard. Let's think of it that way for labs 2, 3, and 4. But the lab point one, so 2.1, 3.1, and 4.1, that's you actually conducting the data. So for every lab, you will need 4 volunteers. It's okay with me if you use the same volunteers, if you use different volunteers, but for each lab this semester, each student needs 4 volunteers. And they need to be 18 or older, and ideally they'll be college age, so we have a closer like mean age. Of students or a population or a sample, but you can use any grown adult that is willing to be your volunteer for this course. And so you will do this experiment on them, with their consent, and write down your data. And then you'll turn all that data into me, and then I will compile every student's data. So you won't have an N of 4. I'll take, if there are 20 students in our class and every student had 4 people, well, now we have 80 participants in our study so that our N's a little higher. So it's, better to do our stats work with it. So you'll send this to me and you'll get a grade for lab 2.1, 3.1, 4.1 for actually doing the data collection and the experiment. I'll compile it all in one Excel/CSV file. I'll send it back out to everybody so everyone will have the same data sheet. And then you'll do your analyses on it in JASP and then write up your APA report. And then you'll turn in lab 2.2, 3.2, 4.2 with your lab report, with your data in there that you computed. Hopefully that makes sense. My late work policy is none unless you have a university approved absence or you were sick and you have documentation. I need some sort of documentation or some weird extenuating circumstance that you could document, and send me some sort of proof of something. Not that I don't believe you, but college students are kind of good at coming up with excuses sometimes. So, everything's due at 11:59 p.m. on that due date. And if you started working on the quiz, but you didn't finish it till 12:04 a.m., that's late and it's going to be a 0. And so that's just, I'm not trying to be harsh, but we have deadlines and I need you to meet those deadlines and work ahead so that if something happens, oh my gosh, my car broke down this Sunday and I wasn't able to make it home on time to do my quiz. I'm sorry about that, but you had the whole week to do the quiz, right? You should have done the quiz earlier. So just kind of be looking ahead, and know that unless you have some sort of documentation for some weird circumstance or documentation for being ill for, the week's worth of time that you had it open for, you probably won't get to make up late work. No cheating, no plagiarism, all these good blurbs from Tarleton. Okay, and then here's our schedule. Any changes, I will email you and let you know there's a change, but I don't foresee any changes happening since this is an online class and here's our schedule. So your first quiz is a stats review, and it's just going to remind you about, some big picture things and statistics. Everything's due on Sunday nights at 11:59. So this upcoming Sunday night, January 18th, is your first quiz. Quiz number 0, your review quiz. It's actually quiz 1, but anyway, the next week will be module 1 quiz, module 2, 3, 4, and then we have exam 1 that next week. So we're not learning any new topics that week. You're just going to take your exam over units 1 through 4. And then we'll do units 5, 6, and 7, and each of those quizzes are due Sunday night, March 1st, March 8th, and March 15th. And that next week, next week is spring break, and then the next week after that is exam 2. So you'll have 2 weeks in a row where we won't be learning new material. 1 week will be spring break, and then this week you'll just be taking your exam. And then for the next 2, we'll do unit 8 and then units 9. And quiz or exam 3 is open this last week of class, that last week of April into that first week of May, till May 3rd at 11:59 p.m. But it'll include a few questions for units 8 and 9, and then questions from our previous modules because it's over the whole semester. And that says fall 2025, but that's a lie. It's spring 2026. I'll fix that. And then here's the lab calendar. So lab 1 The one where it's just you writing your APA manuscript for practice is due January 25th, 11:59 p.m., all these things. And then we have lab 2.1 due February 8th. So you have until February 8th to collect your 4 participants worth of data and get it to me. And then once you get it to me, I'll take a few days to get everyone's data gathered and send out that file to you. And then lab 2.2 will be due February 22nd. And then we just follow that formatting the rest of the semester, right? You have until March 8th to conduct your experiment on 4 volunteers, get that information to me. I'll get it back to the whole class, and then March 29th, the completed manuscripts due. And then same for lab 4. You have until April 12th to collect your data from your 4 volunteers, send it to me. I'll compile the data and I'll send it back out to the class, and then you'll have until April 26th to get in your last lab 4.2. So hopefully that's not too confusing. You can pause it, rewatch it, but I think it'll make more sense when we jump over here to modules. So you can see here are all the labs. 1, 2.1, 2.2, 3.1, 3.2, 4.1, and 4.2. In this 4.1 materials packet, I didn't have anywhere else clear and clean to put it, so you don't need to access this till you're doing lab 4.1. And then I have lecture videos. So for each of those units that we're talking through, I have a lecture video. So you can click on it and there it's just a Word document with a link, but that'll take you to the YouTube video. So you can click on that and watch my YouTube video. And I'll send out announcements every week again with the link and be like, hey, this week we're doing chapter 3. Here's the video. But at any time you can access them here. And then the lab video links are in this Word document. So lab 1, there's no video. I'll just chat about it here for a second. But lab 2.1, here's a video talking through it. 2.2, and I like help you do the computations and not your specific ones because we don't want to cheat, but exactly how you would do that same type of computation. 3.1's video, lab 3.2's video, lab 4.1's video, and then our last lab 4.2's video. So again, I'll send those out the week that things are due as well, or a little bit ahead, but you always have those lectures right here to look at. And I think that's it. All your quizzes and tests are here in the quizzes. So you can see your review quizzes due this week. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, exam 1, 5, 6, 7, exam 2, 8, 9, exam 3. So see, it requires lockdown browser. You can see the points when they're due. Everything's open now, so you could work ahead. I wouldn't work ahead too hard and fast because it's a lot of information at once. And that like the labs, you can't work ahead on those because I need the whole class's information. I need to send you out that document. But you can work ahead a little bit so you're comfortable and you're not, rushing every week and everything's available for you to begin at your leisure. You can turn in things early, but you can't turn in things late. So I think that's everything except let me talk to you a little bit about lab 1, and then I think you're good to go. Modules. Modules are gone. Oh, right here. Found it. Lab 1. So lab 1 is you're going to create a template for your APA style writing that then you can use for labs 2.1 or 2.2, 3.2, 4.2. You'll have this one template that's APA perfectly formatted. So here's a link here that you can click on, but here's the stuff you need to read in your APA manual to get ready for it. You're going to download this paper right here. Click on this link, download it. And it's not an APA format. There are some problems in there. So what you need to do is you need to reformat that file according to APA guidelines. Look at things like double spacing everything, margins at 1 inch, no extra space between paragraphs beyond the normal double spacing that we use. Check all of these things. And then you can resubmit it. So this one, you either passed or you failed it. It's either going to be perfect or it's not. So turn it in, and if it's completely correct, then you get 10 points for it. And if it has any error at all, you get a 0. But if you send it in early, I can grade it and send it back to you for feedback. And I'll give you the feedback, and then you can say, oh my gosh, I made a 0, and you could freak out for a second and then see where I marked. Just download the submitted version, and you'll be able to see all of my comments on your paper and see where I highlighted or marked some error. You can fix it and then you can send it back in and then it'll be perfect and you can get 10 points. None of the other assignments are pass fail. Don't freak out. I really want you to have a perfect APA formatted document to go into the rest of the semester with because it'll set you up best for success for the semester. So all the other documents or all the other labs, quizzes, you'll make whatever percentage that you make. But this lab one only is you make 10 points or you make 0 points. I think that's it. So you are going to have a wonderful semester, and I'm going to stop sharing and come back to me. Stop share. Okay. And if you have any questions, feel free to email me or reach out. But I'll send out weekly announcements every Sunday, Monday, and remind you what's happening that week and talk through the things via the lecture videos and announcements. So have a wonderful semester, and I look forward to learning with you.